On an entirely different matter, last week President Biden spent part of his State of the Union address celebrating what he seemed to think was a victory over inflation. Yesterday, however, another wave of official figures confirmed what working families already knew. The president was simply wrong. The Democrats' football spiking was premature. The American people are hurting badly. The CPI rose another half point last month, even faster than predicted, for an overall price hike of 6.4% year on year. Now, mind you, that's not 6.4% inflation since President Biden was sworn in. That's an additional 6.4% just since February of last year. It's February of last year. A baseline that's already had an entire previous year of historic and unacceptable inflation already baked into it. The overall Biden inflation rate is 14.4%. The overall Biden inflation rate, 14.4% from January of 2021 to today. Rents are up 12.7% since President Biden took office. Grocery prices up 19.6%. Energy prices up 38% after 2 years of total Democratic control here in Washington. Prices are still rising out of control, and even worse, the rate of increase is speeding back up again. This past month was the hottest for inflation since last October. We've now had 21 straight months above 5% annual inflation, a mind-boggling policy failure. And what does the White House have to say about it? Well, yesterday, the president's press secretary proclaimed, quote, "The president's economic plan is indeed working." So I guess the official White House position is that Democrats caused all this crushing inflation on purpose. This is the kind of insanity that has left just 16% of Americans saying they're in better financial position.
Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday to all of you. My friends, there is a big update from the Internal Revenue Service. Millions of tax refund payments worth over $2,000 have been officially sent out to many Americans. The government has also confirmed the newest changes to filing taxes this year. If you received a state stimulus check last year, you may be required to file taxes. Friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, I will be giving away 2 $75 Walmart gift cards this coming Friday. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaways, make sure, friends, that you click and like several of my videos, and then do comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways. The Internal Revenue Service reported that tax season is underway. As of February 3rd, the IRS had issued nearly 8 million refunds, worth about $15.7 billion. The average refund amount was $1,963. That is down from last year's average payments of $2,201 at the same point in the filing season. The average may change as the IRS processes millions more returns before the April 18th deadline. While the tax agency warned refunds may be somewhat lower this season, experts say that it's still too early to know for sure. According to the report released last Friday, as of February 3rd, the IRS had processed more than 16.7 million returns, 29% more than the previous year. The nearly 8 million refunds compared to 4.3 million the previous year. With almost 85% more refunds issued, the larger number of payments may be reducing the average refund size compared to last season's payment. But some say that it's tough to draw too much of a conclusion over a relatively short period of time. The agency kicked off the tax season with a bigger customer service team and enhanced technology, as it begins to deploy its nearly $80 billion in funding that Congress had approved last August. National Taxpayer Advocate Erin Collins wrote in her report to Congress, "We have begun to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm just not sure how much further we have to travel before we see sunlight. According to the Internal Revenue Service, typically you can expect refunds within 21 days when filing an error-free electronic return with direct deposit for payment. You can avoid unnecessary delays by double-checking all the details on your return, including your address, social security number, and direct deposit details. You can also check your refund status with Where is My Refund online tool, but you will need to wait at least 24 hours after electronically filing your 2022 return, or 3 to 4 days after e-filing 2020 and 2021 returns. Remember that paper returns may take up to 4 to 6 weeks for a status update. The Internal Revenue Service has also issued guidelines on whether the millions of taxpayers who received a state tax rebate last year need to declare it on their federal tax return. On February 3rd, the agency recommended that individuals who were issued special tax refunds or payments by their state governments should wait for additional clarification before filing their 2022 return. The agency provided that clarity a week later, indicating that taxpayers in many states will not need to report these payments. But as always with the IRS, it is very complicated. There were no stimulus checks from our federal government in 2022, but at least 28 states gave money back to residents, primarily in the form of income and property tax rebates, child tax credits, and direct relief payments. So if you lived in one of these states, you may have received refunds in 2022. Some of these states include Alaska, California, Colorado, Delaware, Florida, Hawaii, Indiana, Maine, New Jersey, New Mexico, and Pennsylvania. So, for example, Alaska's energy relief payment will not be taxed, as has been the case in prior years. Its annual payment to residents of the state's permanent fund dividend, which is drawn largely from oil revenue, is still subject to federal income tax. Residents of the states of Georgia, Massachusetts, South Carolina, and Virginia will not owe federal income taxes on their special state payments, as long as those payments were a refund of state taxes that they had paid, for which they claimed a standard deduction or itemized their deductions but did not receive a tax benefit. However, many experts have said there may be challenges for California taxpayers because the state already issued them 1099 miscellaneous forms for payments of more than $600, which reported the state's middle-class tax refund as a taxable payment to the IRS. If the state doesn't amend and reissue those forms to the IRS, it may cause a mismatch when California taxpayers file their federal returns. Well, my amazing and most beautiful friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Wednesday morning. Thank you, my friends, for being part of this community and for joining me here every day. Friends, please make sure that you enter the weekly giveaway by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then do comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. My friends, the more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of winning the weekly giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed Wednesday.